viral for pretending like we were addicted to abortions. Me and my friend Jessica Mizutano, hilarious comedian, even though she's a woman, which is very surprising because I really respect this woman and her comedic abilities and her ability to write and perform and create these hilarious, consistently viral, shocking things. It's hard to come up with an idea and then execute it, and she does it flawlessly. But what happened was I think I called her. I was like, "Hey, you want to get some food?" And then she was like, "I'm filming a skit. You want to be in it?" And I was like, "Sure." And I'm like, "What's the deal?" And she's like, "I'm doing like a TLC, like my strange addiction, and I'm addicted to abortions." And I was like, "Okay, sure, cool, bet. I'll be right over." And then I show up, and she's like, "Yeah, so here's the deal," and her part was already filmed, and we played it back, and it was hilarious. And I was like, she was like, "Yeah, so you pay for the you give me this, you donate the semen, and then you pay for the abortions." And I'm like, "That's weird." And I'm thinking about, like, why would I pay for the abortions and donate the semen? And then I started thinking about how, like, well, on Epstein Island, they were sacrificing babies and children for world powers and to interface with demons to generate massive amounts of wealth. And so I thought it would be funny and very interesting to take the angle of I was funding abortions so I could microdose child sacrifice, which would benefit me financially in the long term. And all of that got edited out. It just got trimmed down to the one part where I was like, I paid $12,000 for, and so it seems real. And obviously, how it was edited worked out because it blew up. But I would like to post that part of it because that part is just fascinating to me. Just the concept of intentionally getting abortions so you could sacrifice them to Moloch and make millions of dollars. I think that's an interesting. Obviously, that's terrible. I'm not arguing that. I'm saying it's interesting. Like, think about it. Technically, that could work or make sense. But anyways, the video went so viral because everyone thought it was real, and it got reposted by a bunch of otherwise reputable news sources like World Star Hip Hop, which is historically has been reputable, even though the things they report on are rather R-rated. And then the Dom Lucre guy that he's he's been posting a lot of. I mean, he's posted. He's been a pretty relevant journalist, at least on the Twitter, for a while, and a number of other pages reposted it. Having some opinion on it, like these people should be in jail and stuff like that. But what's fascinating is we unintentionally exposed unintentionally. Fuck. We didn't mean to do this, but we happened to expose all of these journalists for not doing their research, being full of shit, reposting fake news. Granted, yes, we did create the fake news, but you can go to both of our profiles, it's everyone involved, and see that we're all actively doing comedy. It just takes a quick scroll. It's like when they posted me on the T app and they're like, "This guy's racist, homophobe, misogynist." It's like, dude, all you have to do is scroll down my Instagram, watch like 4 of my videos. You could probably make that assertion for yourself. It's like people don't even want to do the research. And I'm not even going to say it's to get clicks and views, because that's what we're all trying to do. Even an honest journalist is trying to do that. But it really shows a lack of effort, a presence of laziness, and God damn it. and an unwillingness to research, because that's why I consider myself a comedian. Jester's privilege. I can say whatever I want, but I wouldn't consider myself a journalist, although I do report on a lot of news stuff. I try to find a humorous angle in it, so I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a journalist, but I always try to make sure the shit I post is authentic and I'm getting the real story. And I will sacrifice an element of truth for a handful of entertainment. If there's just a perfect joke that is like, well, technically that part's not true, but this is hilarious, I'll take that angle. But whenever I'm talking about current events, I make sure that I know all the facts first, or everything that's been presented as facts, at least. Like when the Austin shooter came out and they didn't know anything about him, I waited to form opinions. When COVID happened, I waited a few weeks. I saw reminders from 2020. Fucking embarrassing, bro. Facebook memories just of me being like, yeah, well, if we just social distance, then the virus won't spread. That's how viruses work. And it's like, okay, yeah, I was taking like a technical approach to logistically how viruses operate, but still, it was unsettling to see my perspective on yes, I still think this is legit. But my point is, I'm always trying to get the truth. I'm always trying to get the facts. And that's why I generally wait 2 to 3 days to talk about something online, because I want to make sure everything comes out. Like, you can pretty much go down my YouTube and see the things I've talked about and timestamp. It's about three. It's almost like clockwork. 3 days after is when I'll talk about it. And the problem is you could lose some relevancy in a few days, but relevance is not as important as getting the facts straight, because spreading misinformation just drives up chaos. And I'm not saying no one should ever spread misinformation or drive up chaos. I constantly do it. I'm just saying, as a journalist, you have a responsibility not to do that. And I'm not a journalist. So, like my buddy Gary Faust. People think he's a comedian because he's hilarious, but he's not. He's a journalist that happens to be, we have similar approaches, because he tries to be entertaining about it as well, but he doesn't try to make the whole thing a joke. So we differ in that aspect. But people like Gary would be appalled if they had done a documentary or a post on something that happened, and then we're like, oh wait, it was just people fucking around. Like, why like the two stories should go viral for different ways. A fake skit should go viral for the entertainment value, and then a crazy story should go viral because it's like, wow, this happened. And I mean, shit, at the end of the day, I guess it's all for entertainment. News is a form of entertainment, but it shouldn't be. It should be rooted in reality. Anyways, yeah, we got posted by, that's had millions of views, and then someone posted a screenshot of just my face while I'm wearing the fucking Enron shirt, dude. I'm wearing the Enron shirt. Enron, I DM'd them a few years ago, and they sent me a shirt, and I'm like, who the fuck, how is Enron a thing? Enron was like the biggest fraudulent scam in corporate American history at one point, and they just, I saw their ads a few years ago on Instagram. They're like, we're back, we're sorry, can we talk? And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So, anyways, they sent me a shirt. I'm wearing the shirt. If you know what Enron is, you know that wearing an Enron shirt is a joke in itself. It's ironic. It's like, hey, fraud is funny, right? It's like, so just seeing, so it's me with that shirt on, and then the caption is, "This is what a cuck looks like," or something like. This guy gives his semen. He doesn't even have intercourse, and he pays for the abortions. Also, there was a part where they're interviewing me when we were filming this kid. He's like, "So, why don't you guys just have intercourse?" And I go, "You kidding me? Like, look at this." That didn't make it in the final cut because it was too much like a skit. But I hope we re-edit more of a skit version that is less real, because there was just a lot of funny stuff in there that didn't make it. But yeah, journalists need to have integrity, and I get that could be odd. Me saying that as I'm the reason that they were not acting with integrity, essentially. But I'm a secret shopper. I'm the undercover bringing a gun through TSA to make sure TSA is doing their job. I got clearance. I got clearance to bring my verbal weapons through the TSA journalists. And if they don't catch it, I'm calling them out. I'm saying, hey, you can't let me bring a gun through TSA. This is crazy. I'm speaking metaphorically, of course. I would never do that. And I mean that, because sometimes I say I would never do that as like a wink wink, but this time, definitely not. There's no, I feel like I gotta say that because YouTube's all freaking me out. And, but yeah, I mean, the concept of abortion being microdosing child sacrifice is just, it's wild. It's hilarious. It's a lot to wrap your head around because there's a lot of moving parts. And you're taking multiple topics that are very taboo and uncomfortable to discuss, and then combining them, and then making it into a theological conspiracy. It's just, it's a fascinating topic that I'm going to have to delve into a bit more. Did I forget to brush my teeth? God, I fucking hope not. They feel pretty clean. But, yeah, dude. We went viral. That was cool, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really. This is the first time I've had a video go viral and lost followers. Jessica, too. I think Jess said she lost like 300 followers, but then she started gaining more. But that's funny. Usually when you get 5 million views, your followers go up. But I get it. I totally get it. I had a lot of people. I had more people respond to that than anything I've ever posted, and they were upset. And is that, sometimes you got to ask yourself: is that what you want to do? Do you want to do shock value? You hear people say things like shock value is cheap, and I don't like shock value. And it's like, well, then you don't like comedy, because comedy is shock value. That is what comedy is. Stand-up comedy, a punchline, is an arrangement of words that are performed in a manner that surprises you, catches you off guard. In other words, shocks you. That is the foundation of comedy. So being against shock value is being against comedy in general. And I don't get why people try to get on these high horses like, well, that's an easy laugh because you're just being racist or something. And it's like, well, if it's that fucking easy, why don't you do it? I don't know. It's not easy for you because you don't have the balls because you're worried about your reputation or whatever. We don't give a shit about that. We just do shit that we think is funny. And shock value is saying you don't like shock value is like, oh, I don't like when you talk about divisive or offensive things, which is it's not the shocking that you're worried about. It's not the surprise factor. It's the topic that makes you uncomfortable. And I'm not here to say I'm above any type of comedy as long as it's my original thoughts. Unless you're stealing someone else's shock value, then you suck. But if you're coming up with your own rage bait, and I'm sorry that rage baiting is so useful. That's not really my goal, is just to go around pissing people off. But then again, sometimes it is. Sometimes I'm having a bad day, and I'm like, what would make me feel better? Making strangers on the internet upset. Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm an asshole. Maybe I'm an asshole and I resort to shock value. I don't care. Fuck you. It's usually funny. When I try to do PC shit, it just comes off weird. It's not funny. I wish I could be more funny and not say anything offensive, but I don't think that's really my lane, and it feels disingenuous to attempt. And really, at the end of the day, I didn't even put that much thought into this at all. She told me to come over, and I was like, sure. And she said, we got this crazy story, and I'm like, I'm okay. I didn't have something. You got something? Cool. We'll go with your thing. I don't care. I just like making funny things and talking with my friends, and sometimes if people like it, that's cool. If people hate it, I don't care. Just as long as it's getting motion. If things are getting views, that's cool. That's why this sucks, because nobody's watching this. This is gonna get like maybe 20 views, and that sucks, because I've been posting on here for like 9 years. But again, it's not about you. It's about me and me delineating my thoughts so I can speak about them. And if I happen to get views, that's cool too. And maybe this will get views because I'm talking about something relevant. And people are like, oh, he's got more to say on this thing. Because I feel like that's what you got to do with the virality. You got to pull the thread. It's like, oh, this thing popped off. Now we got to piggyback on top of that. And listen, I got to go. But it was great talking to you guys. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see ya.